Once there was a man who was blessed of God and given a great and fruitful land. He prospered in all he did and was faithful to God, from whom all things were given him. Knowing that he was blessed, he sought to bless all who lived in his land. That blessing did overflow its boundaries and blessed the entire world. One day there arose some who ruled in other lands, who saw how his land and people, even allowing them to gain great wealth and power, to ascend to their own positions over their lands. These rulers coveted the blessings God had bestowed upon the man and his people. They purposed in their hearts to undermine his rulership, poison his people, plant their own spies among them, that they might corrupt and make desolate the land, cause them to become corrupted, and set them against one another as a diversion, that they might plunder the man, the land, and the people thereof. They sowed seeds of discord and disharmony. They poisoned the people and the land itself. As things began to deteriorate, they set about to plunder all they could from it, as they turned the people against the man whose blessings by God had made them benefactors of them as well. These wicked rulers even turned the people against God. As the land became unfruitful and barren, and as the people became sick and debauched, the rulers turned their attention to the other lands which had also been blessed by the man and his land. They slandered him among those peoples and nations, and deceived them, making them believe that the man, his land, and his people were nothing but thieves, criminals, and murderers. These same evil rulers claimed that the man was in fact deceiving them and intended to destroy them, and that the appearances of blessings were their enslavement. Having turned those peoples and nations against the man, these evil rulers set about to do to them the same they had done to the man in his once prosperous land. All the while they blamed him for that they were doing, further inflaming hatred towards the man and his people, as they themselves gained more power and control over them, as they quietly extracted as much wealth from them as they could without exposing themselves. The rulers even had those peoples and nations build up large armies, and sold them armaments, that they might go and fight the man and his people who had once been such a blessing to them. Soon everyone was preparing to wage war and destroy the man and his people. This made the rulers very happy, for they prepared to drive up their lands as well among themselves, and enslave the peoples. So what of those who covet the possessions of others, yet cannot have them, in their hearts to ruin all the man has, though intrigues, pharmakia, slander, accusations, and deceptions? For they destroyed what they cannot carry off in their theft, and then continue committing more evils in their own lands and those of others. Did they not blame the very man for what they had been doing, were planning on doing, and had already done? Did they not point to the one they made destitute and mock him? Must he continue to suffer evils by these wicked ones who project their own evils upon him in accusation, while deceiving the inhabitants of his desolated land and those peoples of the other lands? Do you think God does not see such things? Do you am unjust and lawless like those who do such things? Think it not, for swift is his sword in judgment upon the wicked and the arrogant. For when these thieves and accusers least expect it, their fate is sealed by the Most High, who renders his justice upon them, and restores the fortunes of the wrong man, who humbly did not take action against his tormentors, but instead petitioned God and the host of heaven itself to take up his cause. And so it was, and as for these days, so it is.